doing tonight? Let your file in. You see the what is CISSP certification, qualifications, benefits, and salary. Once again, I was interested that Forbes had it, so I thought I would run it. So once again, just letting a few people file in, and we're gonna get at it. Let's see. You know how we do. If you got any questions or what's up, XL Pro? You know how we do. If you got any questions or tech questions, cybersecurity questions, just put them in the box. Shout out to XL Pro. I thought I saw him on Simply Cyber with Dr. G. So he's all over all over YouTube too. Shout out to Simply Cyber. Let's see. So while people file in, I think I'm gonna pay the IC. What's up, Wayne Wallace? How you doing? Switch up. So man, I am struggling tonight. Let's check it out. Play this video. Let me know if you can hear it.
Are you looking to advance your security career? Stand out to employers? Go further, faster with the ISC² CISSP. The CISSP is the most valued information security certification in the world. Employers prefer it 3-to-1 over any other credential. The CISSP proves you have everything it takes to design, engineer, implement, and run an information security program. And it consistently ranks as a top-paying certification. So, who are CISSPs? Typically security practitioners, managers, or executives with at least 5 years of information security experience. From CISOs to network architects, CISSPs are clear leaders, always up for a challenge. Are you ready to accelerate your career? Take the next step and get your CISSP.
So catch you. Appreciate it, Struggle Security. What's up? Shout out to Gabe in the house. I guess do a little history while everybody following in. In 2005, I was studying for the CISSP. I was at DOD. So a part of DOD, which is now the 85, we're going to look at it 70. You had to have Security Plus for the senior position I was at. So everybody was studying for it. So the crazy part is only a couple people did great on it and a couple people did bad on it. So one of my mentors, he passed, he killed it. Then one of my other homies, he passed it by 6 questions and I didn't pass it by 6 questions. So then it came out 2 weeks later, somebody misread the qualification. So you could get Security Plus and not CISSP. So I got the Security Plus and I never went back and got the CISSP. So that was a horrible decision by PBO, aka Professional Back Ops. So now, 15, 17 years later, since I switched jobs, got with a permanent firm, got with a fintech, they want everybody to have the CISSP. So now I'm studying for it again. So the other thing which everybody knows is I'm 55, so it's harder to memorize or study when you're 55. It's a little harder. So so once again, so it's a Forbes article. So I thought I would read over the Forbes article like I did last week. They had the 8 top cybersecurity certification. CISSP was in there. Shout out to CISSP. So then they had one I just saw that just actually talked about the CISSP. So once again, let's go through a little more pages on the CISSP actual site. Then we'll read the Forbes article. Once again, though, if you got any tech questions or any cybersecurity questions, just drop them in the box. So let's keep reading. So once again, PBO is studying. His studying's getting a little better. I've been on it for about 3 months off and on. So now I'm getting focused. So I've been doing a lot of practice tests and I'm scoring pretty good. So the other thing with State Grade Show, I think it's $745 to take the test. So if you don't pass it, you just smoke $745. So that's I wouldn't say it's a deterrent. Let's see. Shout out to Tone all day. Oh, yep. Shout out to Tone all day. What's up, Triple OG? Let's talk about. Oh, yeah, that's coming up. Now, CISPs make money, man. Those dudes get paid. But two is you got to have at least 5 years of experience, and you have to have somebody that's going to recommend you. So they actually, I wouldn't say putting their job on the line, but they are recommending you. So let's see. Shout out to Gabe once again for the $10 barbecue fund. I'll pin that to the top a little bit. Let's see. You got this. I appreciate it, man. Some days I don't. But what did I miss? CISP, good increase in salary. Yeah, the crazy part is my job said I probably get a 10K bonus if I pass. Bump me up. So salute to my man, Brother Michael. So once again, let's look at that IC² article. So we just saw that. We probably play it again, but becoming a CISP, I'm just going to skim through it. Accelerate your cybersecurity career with CISP. We're definitely going to go on Indeed and type CISP. It's definitely one of the most marketable from a cybersecurity cert, one of the most marketable. I don't think, and I'm sure if Gabe wants to come up, we could chop it up, is it's more of a management cert. You can't configure a firewall. You can't figure a database. You really can't do a policy. So they teach you about running a cybersecurity program from that level, right? So it's definitely, I believe, a management test. So I actually thought the Security Plus was more practical, but as far as running a program, I mean, because CISP, I'm sure we're gonna look over the domains. They hit everything from a firewall to GDPR. So I mean, they hit everything in there. So earning CISP proves that you have what it takes to effectively design, implement, manage best-in-class cybersecurity program. CISP, you validate your expertise and becomes an IC² member, unlocking a broad array of exclusive resources, educational tools. The first step is to start your strong path. They want you to buy here, right? Professional developments, events, peer-to-peer networking, and volunteering. So ensure it's the right path. So I've been self-studying. You can register. I think Gabe likes to take his certs at home. I like to actually go to the center. I don't know why I'm like that. I just like to go to the center. I want nobody to think I'm cheating or something. So I'm gonna go to the center too. I feel like I'm more focused on that. So okay, Gabe agreed with me. Yeah, so it's a broad skill. Two is like I said, I've been studying. So some of that, and Gabe brought this up a couple times. Shout out to Gabe. Is I was studying ports and protocol in 2005, and I got to memorize the same ports and protocols. What was that? 19 years later, 18 years later. So are we progressing in cybersecurity from a studying and more maturity? Because I feel like I studied 80% of that. The test is what I studied in 2005, right? So I mean, are we just stagnant in there? So I thought. So yeah, I'm still trying to think through that and feel what that's about. Anyone familiar with the NSA exam or how to prepare for NSA? What trick can what's NSA? Is that National Security Association? Is that the government, or I was thinking CNA, but that's not network. What is that, Trent? What is that acronym? Let's see. Shout out to Peter and Best. Salute to you in your chat. Appreciate you. Tammy, same. Go to the center. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the center guy. I don't know why. I just feel more. I don't know. I always go to the center, and I live close to a bunch of them, so it's not like I have to drive far. One of them is actually 10 minutes from my house. I think it's a person view is one of them. There's been some reported cybersecurity. Yeah, I did a video on that one. I probably got 5 HIPAA hospital type videos in my Peter Invest. But yeah, I saw that. I thought, well, I think that was interesting. I think we'll talk about that later. I think HIPAA, and I did a video on that actually. HIPAA is a very weak compliance, I think, for hospitals and the whole healthcare system. I think it's antiquated. I think they need to go ahead and go up to NIST 853, do a full Fed, because the HIPAA is a little bit CSF, a little NIST, a little ISO. So from a compliance standpoint and cybersecurity, I think HIPAA's that's just proven. The only thing more hacked in hospitals is colleges. So I did a video on that, Peter Investor. Yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let's see. It's the government pre-screening exam. Oh yeah. I've never taken it. Once again, I used to work for DOD. They were real big on the CISSP. That's what they were pushing. Once again, I was senior. We're gonna look at that. I guess we can look at that now. 10 Hut, shout out to Savage Scientists. Me and him was chopping it up. Go check us out. Do you need college degrees? That was excellent. Of course, my man Savage Scientist. Put your channel in there, man. Gabe, put your channel in there. So yeah, we did. Do you need a college degree? We was on Keep It Techie. That was definitely a great conversation. Savage Scientists got me thinking of about a few things. I moved from degrees more to certs. Long story short, when Keep It Techie ran the numbers, of course, more people in the industry had degrees. But I told him, because I think certs just got hot the last 5 years. AKA the CISP is one of the hottest. So we gonna get back into. I think it's one of the hottest certs, but I think that's why the numbers were skewed more to degrees than certs. So I think as the baby boomers start retiring here in the next decade, and I think once X start leaving, I think people start taking more degrees. Because when I was all the jobs I'm at, I try to grab, especially the newer guys with degrees. I'm sorry, certs. I'm pushing people to get certs. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I did it. I'm pretty sure I did that one, Peter. Yeah, I did. Like I said, I'm anti-HIPAA. I'm gonna go on a crusade to upgrade HIPAA by myself. Shout out to Savage Scientists. Go check him out. I'm gonna start programming a little bit on my channel. I did a Power Automate for GRC, and I'm gonna keep adding on to that one. I was supposed to do it tonight, but they was working PBO, man. PBO been working hard lately. Man, people were supposed to do it. I know, man. My studying ain't going so well. I don't think I was qualified to do a course after science. I've been struggling, man. I don't know it's because I'm old or what's going on, but my CISP study ain't going. But if you look down here, who earns the CISP? Let me make sure I got that one. Yep. Let me what we at? What? Yeah, let me give me 125 on there. So if you look at who earns the CISP, and I'm going to interview a couple CISOs, Chief Security Information Officer, a guy that's the CIO and a revenue CIO. You see, these are high-hitting jobs, CISP. You got Chief Information Security Officer, which is a heavy one, CIOs, Directors of Securities, IT, Security Systems Engineers, Security Analysts. That's kind of where I'm at. Security Analyst / Security Auditor. That's kind of a Security Manager, Security Architect. So if you look at the left, those are, big paying jobs. You're talking about Chief Security Officer and CIOs, right? Have CISP, and everybody I know at CISP, a lot of those people are in management, right? So that's one reason. I think the CISP, we always talk about getting through the gatekeepers and HR. A lot of times we're going to look at that. A lot of those jobs on Indeed require CISP. If not, it's highly, that they want you to have it. And two, if a lot of people have it and you don't, they're going to get through the HR scanner / AI and you're not, right? So once again, I'm not overly big on certs. I think they do kind of like validate you, but experience trumps everything. But a lot of times, if you don't have the certs, you can't get through HR to show your experience, right? So, yep, my boss is a CISO. I don't know if my boss. I need to check with him. I think my ex boss has a CISP. I don't know if my current boss. I take that back. I think he does. I'm a security analyst. Shout out to that, man. That's DevOps is hot, man. DevOps is hot. So let's keep going. Let's go and jump over to the CISP, what they talk about government training. Once again, I believe that's the 8570. So let's jump on over there. Let's see, DOD, my ex stomping grounds. So basically, this is CISP, and once again, from government sites, it could be DOD or any of those. DLA, defense logistics. So there's so many government spots, right? There they go. Partner with an organization, understanding your needs. Many of our certifications meet the requirements of 8570.1. Thousands of government employees and contractors have CISP, and a lot of them have risk management framework. So that's part of it, right? So that's Army, Air Force, readiness training, DOD 8570. Let's click on that real quick. Then we're going to get into the article. So those are the 3 layers, right? Level 1, 2, and 3. So a lot of times out of 10, if you're on a production box, I think they want you to be at level 3. I was at DOD so long, people forgot I had a knack, which is the lowest level. Because when I first got there, I was just kind of generating code. But after 2 or 3 years, I worked my way to production, and people were like, "Do you have a SBI, which is secret? It's top secret. It's secret. They wanted me to get a secret. I didn't have one." So long story short, that's why they really was pushing for the CISSPs at first. Right, there's the caps. Where's Security Plus at? I don't even see Security Plus. CYSA. There's Security Plus. Security Plus is in level 2. And once again, a lot of times if you're on top secret boxes, a lot of times they want you at 3, and that's where the CISP comes in. Even as an associate, which means you don't have a full 5 years, but you pass the test and you kind of like in an internship, right? So I thought that was interesting. Security Plus is in 2, CISP is in 3. The cloud security part, CAST, CISA. A lot of people does the CISP or the auditing. So which those is like CISP is in 3, 3 in the IAM, 3 in the SAE engineering part. So once again, that's level 3. So a lot of times there's always discussion about is, what's hot. CompTIA is also in those different levels. So for me, if you can get a DOD or one of these jobs with one of these certs, that cert's decent, right? I don't have to like it. It's leverage. But if you can get a DOD job with the cert, you got at least say it's on par. Yep, shout out to Cyber Scientist. He has the CISSP. Let's see. Here, let me see. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody want to come up. I'm about to read the Forbes article. Then we'll go back to that video one more time and just chop it up. Once again, if you got any questions, just drop them in the box or the tech or cybersecurity. Gang said I got the GLC back in 2016. That suffice for I am like 2015. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Gabe said he had the what? The GCLC. Oh, yep, you right there. So yeah, especially once again, we always talk about the money. Once we read the article, we'll go back and look at the salaries. We'll pull up a couple things up on Indeed and go over it and talk about the salary. Appreciate your brother Michael adding to the barbecue fund. But that's where you want to be. You want to be in that level 3, right? If now or in the future, that's really where you want to be. That's the top consultants, the top jobs, the top certifications from a government perspective, and a lot of Gabe will tell you there's a lot of money to be made in the government, right? I ate well, that's why I'm fat. I was eating on that DOD money for about 11 years, man. So, and I always tell people tax money's infinite, so you definitely want to get in that level 3. Like I said, I'm getting on that CISP. I need to link up with Cyber Scientists and do a couple videos on them. I just been struggling with the practice test. I bought one of the vendors practice tests, so It's like I said, it's getting better. It's going there. I think I'm gonna force myself to take it at the end of the month, and what that'll do is force you to focus when you about to blow $700. So I think that's gonna be my thing. Sometimes you just gotta sign up, and hey, it is what it's gonna be. So that's what's up, Flex. Let's see. No flex. I thought we were sharing. That's a flex. I'm with the man, the myth, struggle security in the house. What's going on?
Oh, 1 second. 1 second.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll chat while you get that together. But yeah, but like once again, we're gonna get over there. We're gonna get Gabe's point on the CISP. Once again, I think it's management. It's a good cert, but for me, you can't program a database, program a network.
Yeah.
I'm at AW.
It's okay. You hear me?
Yeah, I can. You can't spin up no infrastructure. But I get a lot of CISP calling me, asking me about assessment. But hey, if that's what they want, and most of the guys I know got it, they're in high level management, right? And they use that to get from kind of like senior level technicals and actually switch to manager. So go ahead and chime in on today.
No, that's real. I know a lot of people were kind of going for some of those IAM level 3. So they were going, so that CISO, that CISSO, that's a CompTIA cert. So they offer that one. Yep. And that's that in that IAM level 3. When I was taking that GSLC, the CISO didn't exist. So it was really, if you were either going to go CISSP, GICM, and then the GSLC was a newer certification. And that's like a security, it stands for GAC Security Leadership Cert. So that's one of those SANS certifications.
Yeah, so, SANS get a lot of respect. I just think I was on the IC squared, and I think from DOD, that's what they focus on. But I know SANS hot. Most people I know have the CISP. You probably the one few people I know that have SANS cert. They're so much more expensive too. Even
extremely expensive. I would never pay for one out of pocket unless I got a huge discount. Never.
Yes. You think that's why there's more CISP IC squared than than the SANS? Because I just thought about that. SANS be crazy expensive.
There's no, so back when I was taking them, they were probably about $5,000. That included the test, and that also included the certification attempt. Now $8,000 to $9,000 per certification.
So I guess my question to you is, obviously people paying for it. That's why they can increase it. So
I guess organizations are paying for it. So I think that the proliferation of security overall, organizations getting hacked, you know, I mean, I think they just started to up it. And then people organizations keep paying. Like or a lot of times organizations will buy a bundle or get a partnership and get a heavy discount on the service. So
but once again, I respect them, and I looked at them. They seem they go more. I think they actually go more in depth. I once again, I think the price, and I think DOD was just so hard on the CISSP for a long time that's where everybody got.
You know, those certs are like the training and the certification is unparalleled. Like out of every single other certification I've taken, nothing is like a SANS cert. Right, the lab, like, because it literally, like, you are being trained by people who are experts in the field, no question. So those are the people who's going through the labs, the course material. You literally are walking away from one of those trainings with the ability to execute in the work environment. So I know that's what I've experienced, but again, it comes with a hefty price tag. But
if the companies are picking it up for you, they probably, give you a stare. You got to stay a couple years, but hell, it's going to take you a couple years to get it. So,
man, I negotiated on the front end.
You extra smart though, man. I just took the penalty, whatever it was. Whatever.
I was like, this is what I want. I was like, I need to get this cert as a part of me coming on board. Can y'all make that happen? And they said, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, because it's just a business right off to them. What's up, Savage Science? I'm going to let you chime in before I get on the CISP.
What's up?
What's going on? You want to chime in, man? You on mute.
You're probably getting the audio right.
Yeah.
Because the audio is a little confusing because it says audio input and audio output, but it's kind of like a little confusing.
On my restream?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Audio output, I think that's normally should be your speakers.
That's what I thought too.
It's
But
not.
I think it's the opposite. Well, I don't know. Let me see. Because I got it configured.
Because I have an external mic, so I
Same.
have a stupid audio out built into my mic.
Yeah. So I got the audio input is my external mic, and audio output is my headphones. So yeah, I always get it confused. Maybe it's just a me thing, but yeah.
Oh man, I done been on a few streams. I got kicked off a lot of streams too. Try not to get kicked.
I'm just like you, man. I'm just like you.
You
do tearing it up.
You do be tearing it up, man.
Hey.
For a super bright dude, Gabe, you always into it, man. But shout out to you.
Getting into it. You know me.
Yeah, I think you have valid points, but yeah, you in the manosphere sometimes. Y'all just don't get along.
Not all the time.
Nah, which is cool. Two grown men should be able to disagree. Ain't no big deal.
Indeed.
Some people take a little strong with you, though, Gabe. A lot of people take a little strong.
They can't stand me, Cyber Scientists and PBO. They can't stand Gabe. They don't like me.
You be asking some tough questions sometime. I'm gonna let that go, though, man. I'm gonna let that go.
Yeah. I think sometimes they just can't handle it.
I always like your questions. I always like your questions, Gabe. For me, because you gave me a few hard ones, but I ain't take a personal.
Nah. So that's just how it is. But yeah, man.
You want to try? You done? You got anything else, Savage? I'm going to start reading this because I was surprised to see it on Forbes. I'm like, okay, they the money, so hey, let's.
So the article is saying that is the CISSP worth it?
Yep, and what qualifications, benefits, and salary?
I think it's worth it.
Oh yeah, I think so.
But I think that is. But I think to get the money or the bag, I know that's your term. But to really get the money, I think you need more than just the that. I would probably say you're gonna need a degree.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
I mean, probably master's degree, because really the CISSP supposed to supplement a master's degree.
Yeah, facts, 100%. And I think they mentioned that in that article I'm about to read. So no, you're right. Shout out to my man Jim R. He said, "Yeah, I like SANS, but it's been off my radar. Commercial sector since it's so damn expensive. Like like better be like Gabe's Jim R. And you better start negotiate that when you hit the door. That's part of your package.
Tell them that's what you want.
Maybe less cash bonus and more SANS. More SANS.
Man, SANS is some expensive stuff, man.
Yeah. I know. That's why I'm.
Because the way I looked at it is that I'm setting myself up for the next role, even after this organization. So I need y'all to make it worth my while, in order for me to invest in in order for me to do a great output of work here. So that's kind of the way I see it.
And that's what I'm saying too. I'm like I like the people I work for, but I like money more.
Yeah.
So
facts.
I'm dedicated for 5 years.
5? Dang.
5 years.
That's what's up.
No, that's good.
So let me hit mine.
Let me read this couple paragraphs real quick. On the Forbes, it says IT security professionals looking to advance their career or deep dive into the realm of cybersecurity should consider the CISSP, Certified Information System Security Professional Certification. Organizations across the industry needs to protect their data and proprietary information from cyber attacks, making the CISSP-certified professional a valuable asset to any company. The CISSP certification signals to employers that you know how to best protect web-based information systems, command a strong IT security team, read on to learn all you need to know about earning a CISSP. The crazy thing about that is I don't think the CISSP trains you to do that.
No, I don't think
But go ahead, I'm gonna let y'all chime in. What's your thoughts on that?
No, I was gonna say I don't think it does either. I think it gives you a lot of good talking points and head knowledge and just overall concepts. You probably go into detail about concepts, but walking away, being able to implement a web application program, I don't know. You might know some parameters and some inputs that you need and documentation around it, but not you're not walking away from it with those practical skills.
Yeah, I agree. CISSP is it's all that managerial paperwork, paper pusher, information management type stuff with a little bit of IT. It gets you. I mean, really, you can't BS your way past the CISSP when it comes to paperwork. Now you probably you could BS your way through some technical stuff. Like my boss has the CISSP and he's technical, but a lot of times you'll hire these people who do compliance stuff all day and they just know they are the liaison or representing the entire security team in the C-suite. So they're not gonna touch switches in sensitive security. They're not gonna touch the firewalls and configure stuff all day.
No, it's a management.
But they should have knowledge of it.
Yeah, it's management. Like I said, it's a management test. But when you read stuff like that, you think they can do that. I'm like, they can't do that. I work with those guys, so I know they can't do it. So once again, let me see what my man GR said. He said, on exam, I went down floor in flames. Well, yeah, it's the CISSP, ISSEP concentration. He said he knew the material, performed well on exam, but the NSA awards the cert with IC squares and keeps the passing rates low. But I guess he said he passed the second time. Yeah, a lot of times, it takes 2 times. It's nothing to be ashamed of, especially on those big ones. The weird thing is I just figured out a good friend of mine, he passed it. And I guess there's 9 different types of CISP concentrations. And it was on Indeed. Really? I guess it's only like 22 people that passed all 9. It's under like 50 people that have all 9 of those, right? So
I think just having a CISSP is good. I mean, I'd rather focus that energy on but really, I guess you can't really go no higher, but I would rather, I mean, I'm more interested in doing some red team stuff.
Shout out to you.
I just want to get the CISSP and move on to more technical certification.
Facts.
It's so crazy. Speak of the devil, I'm literally doing that right now. Have you ever? I'm doing a social engineering campaign in a red team, and it is
go get them.
That's funny. I was helping this guy at this company. They got no B4, so I guess that no B4 has got a social engineering where you can send out phishing emails to see how many percent of your company clicks on it, and so we were talking about running one of those campaigns. So that's interesting, though.
Man, it's very interesting because you can use a lot of different tools to be able to accomplish it. I know, like they have a lot of automated tools like GoFish. I'm using GoFish right now in order to kind of keep track whoever clicks on something. But like evil, what is it called? It's like, so like a lot of times what you do is that you clone like a page that's already within that organization, like a web page, but then you just make the web page, when they put in their credentials, capture the credentials. But you can do web hooking and everything for their browser. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you could do. So it's really
I was gonna do a video on that on the social engineering toolkit in Cali.
Oh yeah, set is lit. Yep.
Yeah,
set is cool.
That'd be a good video. A lot of people are not really hip to that. A lot of people don't really get social engineering as part of cybersecurity.
Oh yeah, they think social engineering is a game. They think it's just these people not technical.
I'm talking about the regular person, Gabe. You understand it because you in that game, but it's not sexy enough for the people on YouTube.
It's fun, man.
I think you got to explain that to them, Gabe, what that actually means in real life and how you get paid. Because sending fake emails, that don't sound glamorous. Gabe, you need to put that in your Ferrari while you drive it, I guess.
Let me tell you what I've done for this one, for the phishing email. I use ChatGPT. I put in everything that I want to put in as it concerns what I want the fish to do. But like you can use ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm an IT administrator and there's this new program that we're rolling out. We want people to be able to click on this link. So in order to be able to assess their VPN access, create an email for me to send out to the whole organization.
I never thought about that.
Boom. There's a phishing email right there.
No, that's
right
nice
there. So
that's nice. But then my man said he held it since 2008, but haven't needed outside. No, you're right. A lot of times, Jim R, you don't really need that. once you leave the Fed sector, but I think commercial's starting to pick up on that a little more. I think they're asking for at least the general CISP, because I'll let Gabe chime in that next. Most consulting companies are trying to get Fed work, so they want you to have those same credentials, because your client, being the Fed or states, even are asking for those type of CISP credentials. How many years you got? How many people you got? So because they kind of rank that on you in an RFP or RFB, RFI when you bid on stuff. What's your take on that, Gabe?
No, that's true. It's very true. So yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
When I was in the military.
Yeah, you want any of that, scientist?
When I was in the military, 85-7, it was Security Plus, was mostly CompTIA. And then they added EC Council, which is a joke. Added CEH and some other EC Council stuff. And then later on they added like you're saying right now the ISC² stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Let me read this next paragraph on the Forbes article. Who should get the CISP? Early in your career, IT security professionals may be tempted to jump into the CISP certification process soon after completing your undergraduate or spending just a few years working entry level. However, you have to meet certain benchmark qualifications to become a CISP, which administrative CISP certification requires candidates to have completed either 5 years of full-time employment or 4 years of employment plus an undergraduate degree, such as a bachelor's in computer science or another approved credentials. IC² created a body of knowledge, CPK, which holds nearly all the information as a seasoned cybersecurity professional should know. The CPK has listed 8 primary domains, including access security, software development. To become a CISP, your past work experience must be within one or more of the 8 domains. Earning a CISP is not an easy process. From passing the exams to paying annual fees, this certification requires investment in time, energy, and money. On the other hand, CISP certification is among the most common cybersecurity credentials required by employers, and 72% of cybersecurity professionals are required by their employer to hold a certification. That number seems a little high, but whether you plan to become a chief information officer, an independent security consultant, know your why can help you stay the course as you work your way towards earning a CISP certification. What's your take on that, Gabe?
Yeah, I mean, I think that 72 employers and 72% of cybersecurity professionals required by employees that heard
that sounds high to me.
Well, I think it says to hold a certification. So I think that any of them, right?
No, you might be right.
Any of them might be there, but
I read into that. You're right. I think I read that as
no, you good.
CISP. Keep going.
I think it is changing. Now I do think the certs really do prove, or is a way to prove your skill sets or what you know. But at the same time, what you do is becoming so much more important. What can you do? So I know that I'm always interviewing for something. More of the questions are less like what certs do you have, and it's more of like how would you implement this type of solution within the organization.
The problem is, I'm gonna throw this back to you real quick, Gabe, before I go to Savage. Is a lot of HR is asking for that in the initial, even if it's not required. If 20 people come and they got them, they just gonna send you the CISP people because you don't want to look through 50 resumes. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
But then the hiring a CISSP. I remember my professor. He got one of those GAC somethings. But he was saying, if you go to DEF CON talking about a CISSP, they're gonna kick you out. He was joking, but they know that if a person bragging on having a CISSP, they shouldn't be at DEF CON. No, because that's practitioner though. But if you go to the C-suite meetings, all them guys got CISP, right? Because they talk about budgets and head count and that type of stuff. Oh yeah, well and if they haven't, they might not mention it. If I go to DEF CON, I would probably not mention me having a CISSP. Oh, I ain't scared of. They will look at this is a really technical thing, just like you just said. It's too technical.
But I'm kind of a little hood. I'll be like, okay, most of y'all work for CISPs because the CISP the CISOs, so they working for the guys. So I'm that guy. I'm gonna throw it out there. Go ahead.
That's true.
So let me read my man JM. He's definitely one of my day ones. What's up, PBO? I have a Security Plus, and I throw shout out to Certified Ethical Hacker. Should I attempt to go for the CISP next, or is that a bad idea? How many years of experience you got, JM? And two, me and Gabe talk about that. Are you going more management or technical track? But for me, I would always get it because it always seems more money. Because even if you're on a technical track, you can be a supervisor of the technical team. So I would see how many years you got and kind of where you're at in your career, right? Like I'm a senior guy, so I'm hanging out with CISOs and people ask me to run teams, and at my level, they want you to have one because Gabe wants to send me on site. And a lot of times, the client's going to ask for you to have one and shit, right?
No, I'm not.
So,
I don't care what you do.
but a lot of times, if you go on site, especially as a consultant, sometimes your client, they want you to have one, even though that really doesn't, I say validate your years of experience, but it validates a certain level to the client. So, what you want on that, Savage? You want any of that?
Oh, well, I think that's a good question. I mean, it's never, especially if they paying for it, it's never a bad idea to get the CISSP. But like y'all was saying, I mean, if you go on technical, then I think if you go with CEH, if you're going on a technical route, I'll go Security Plus CEH. I'll really just skip CEH and go straight into something like the I don't know if you ready for OSCP, but there's some other ones. There's some EJPT, something like that.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
You get something like that, and then OSCP. But there's a lot of hacking certifications that you could get. But I would just stay away from stuff that's not. That's not really regarded high in the industry.
But a lot of times, just a little pushback on that is, and I agree with you. A lot of times I tell people I take certifications to validate where I'm at when I'm learning something. So sometimes I think cert could be a stepping stone to something bigger, right? Like Security Plus is a stepping stone for me to get to CISP. When I started AWS, I just started with the practitioner because to me, I'm just gonna go through the ladder because I'm a system guy. I'm a college guy. So to me, that's just like taking, one of your first exam before you get to the final sometimes. So that's kind of how I look at it, right? Climbing that ladder. But, I'm one of them nerds.
I'm about to say, I just started, actually today, I signed up for the Google certification.
They getting a lot of love.
Just so I could, so I could put it on my channel. I started and I'm going to try and finish it in 7 days.
Oh, shit.
So I could talk about it.
Good luck, man. Yeah. I'll be turning in. So Jim R said, like what y'all talking about, the OSCP. One of my good homies, I used to work for DOD. He's got the second one where I think you got 48 hours to hack in as much stuff as you can, and you got to write it up. I've never.
Yep.
That's more. What's your take on that, Gabe? I don't do those OCPs, but he did it, so I might bring him on my channel. He said it was hard as hell. So.
No, I used to. I was in a big study group for the CIS for the OSCP, and literally we were doing. So they have different type of learning paths, like things like on Hack the Box. They have a learning path that will help you prepare for the OSCP. But when you sign up for that training too, they give you a lab environment where you have to, where you should compromise as many boxes as possible to help you prepare for the exam. But yeah, it's 24 hours and you got to get shells. You got to get a certain level of privilege, typically root on a lot of the machines. They've added an Active Directory environment or an Active Directory goals within there, where previously it was just Linux and Windows systems. Or Linux and it was like Linux and Windows, but no real Active Directory stuff. So, but yeah, it's 24 hours. At the end, you got to write a report. And,
he said it was brutal. He passed it, so I might have him on my channel.
That's what's up.
He set up red team for a large insurance company. So
okay,
that is the red team cert though. What they changed the name OffSec, Offensive Security. They just changed the structure the exam, like Gabe was saying that they took a lot of. I think they took the section out on SQL injection. I think it was SQL injection?
I think it was SQL injection.
Yeah,
they had a big part in that.
Yeah.
They took it out or added it?
Yeah, they took it out.
Wow. I think because if you go look
and
at
they added the Active Directory stuff.
Because you look at OWASP top 10, SQL injection still on there, which is crazy. It's been on there for like 20 years. But
it's so many automated tools that can just do it easily.
Oh, facts.
So it's like SQL Map can do it automatically. They have modules within Burp Suite where you can just do SQL injection like nothing. So that's one of the reasons. Yeah,
I do it the old-fashioned way. I use the
pluses and the minuses.
I done did it with FUF and FUF in the word list.
Okay.
That's to discover URLs. And then sometimes some of those URLs open. But Burp Suite is real good for that kind
facts.
For that.
I've done a little Burp Suite. Let me read this a couple more chapters on the Forbes. So the benefits. CISSP certification is the gold standard, not the platinum. The gold standard for IT and cybersecurity. This credentials can lead to a higher salary. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Competitive advantage in the job market. We all trying to find the best remote job. Knowledge of the latest industry. Increase your earning potential. Salaries of CISSP certified professionals vary from title and location. On an average, of course, shout out to Black Heights and TAM. They said this is no money. $120,000 per year in North America. The CISSP certified professionals are some of the most well paid. Shout out to Forbes. IT professionals in the industry. This is because employers understand the rigorous process required to become a CISSP and credentials recognized on a global scale. So what's y'all take on that?
Man, 120 something is money. I get it. A lot of people making more.
Facts,
people be making more. I'm not saying nothing against them, but I
always pick on like that. Yeah. I pick on them. Yeah, I push back on them. I told Black Heights, my guy, I'm like, Black Heights, you can't say that only 6% of the brothers make. Well, I think it's 7% of brothers make 100. So how you gonna say that's no more money, man?
That's
$120,000. That's killer for me.
Nah, facts.
I'm at 80 right now.
You were
80,000.
Oh, okay. I thought
that's money too. Shoot.
Yeah, but average black dude only make 42,000. You doubling the game.
But if I could, I just started my job 8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
you get.
I'm already. I already been looking at other positions. Amazon.
Absolutely.
Amazon had the same senior security analyst.
Yeah,
$244,000.
I interviewed for L5, and I'm gonna talk about it on my channel. I was supposed to be for compliance. I got mixed up with the engineer. I had a 5-hour interview, man. It was crazy. So it's called the Loop. I'm sure Gabe's familiar with it. So I'm gonna talk about my experience on the Loop. It was brutal.
I think I still have the email from the guy too, from Amazon.
Yeah, so it was cool. They actually got me from my YouTube channel. They be having those headhunters in LinkedIn. They saw me they hooked me up, but man, I wasn't quite ready, man. I need a little more labs on that, man.
I ain't gonna lie, I did a couple of loops, man. I did a couple of them. I did the one for Google. I did the one for Amazon. I did a loop for SpaceX a couple years back.
Ooh, okay.
I did a NASA loop, man. I done all the loops, man. Them things is crazy.
Man, I need a little more. I might be too old for the loop. Shit, was brutal.
Me too.
Tone all day said, "Do DoD respect the Cisco?" I don't even know which cert is this. SCCST. I would DoD respect Cisco because that used to be their network of choice. I don't know
CSS2 cert.
Back then, when I was when I was DoD, they had Nortel stuff.
When I was there, they were yanking it out. They was putting a lot of Cisco in.
But this is the Amazon job right here. This thing just said that they canceled the job.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they were mine. They were it was weird. They put us in they put ours like in a cattle call, and mine disappeared. And I called the guy. It's like, "Oh no, you in there?" They were interviewing so many people. The hell, 6 months later, they started laying off. So it probably was
that's what happened. That's that council. My job, the job they were gonna hire me in was the one that was part of that I think they laid off, I think 20,000 people.
Yeah, it was something crazy.
Oh yeah, it was a big layoff, and then I was so pissed off that I did a video saying layoff. I think I called it layoff season because it was around the time playoff was going on. So layoff season versus playoff season.
No, they were laying off. But
oh yeah.
So what's your take on that Cisco? Did you look that up, Gabe?
It says it's like an entry level Cisco cert. Like a Cisco technician. It stands for CISSP-certified support technicians.
Okay.
I don't see it on the DoD 8570 list.
Yeah. So Tom, you probably need to get something a little higher because with DoD they usually don't take entry level people.
So is that like the CCNT they had back before?
It sounds like
maybe. Cisco stays switching it up all the time.
They do, man. Shout out to
their certifications because now it's like you can go directly to CCNP without even having to jump to the CISSP. I mean, CCNA. But go ahead.
Yeah, I thought like you said. So if DoD they probably want you to be mid-level when you come in. So
yeah,
unless you coming from the military, then they let you come in entry, but. Civilians or people, especially consultants, man, they want you to be a 2 or 3 in that grid from 85.7. So, Savage, this is more towards you. Google search sounds interesting. I will look at it. So, what's your thoughts on it? Did you dig into it, or you just decided to give it a shot?
I started the course, and I'm glad you brought this question up because they actually started going over a little bit of the CISSP. So it is you'll get a watered down summary of the 8 domains on the CISSP in the Google certification, and then they're gonna start switching and start talking about SIMs and stuff.
Yeah, Security Plus the same way.
In there.
Security Plus, keep going. Security Plus was the same way. I thought it was I would call it the baby version of the CISP to get you ready. But keep going on your Google.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Security Plus, that was a good one. I took it back in 2010.
I took mine 2005. Then I let it expire. I let it expire.
I don't think it expired back then. I think because my Network Plus expired. I think in 2011 they changed it.
They did, and I still was supposed to do my continuing ed, and I didn't do it. So
yeah.
What's your thoughts on Gabe on Google search? They seem to be hot. A lot of people like them for what I see on YouTube.
It's like a lot of people are saying that it's good. I haven't went through the program myself, but I think that once they picked up Mandiant, they got a little bit more serious about cybersecurity. They do trainings. It's like Mandiant used to do all the trainings for DoD before SANS. Because SANS had beat them out years ago.
True.
So I think that might be that security piece that they're adding to their training portfolio. So yeah.
No, sure. Let me read these last couple paragraphs. Become a more competitive job candidate. Adding a CISP certification to your cybersecurity resume, aka CV, signifies to recruiters, employers that you are among the top candidates in the information security industry. These credentials also guarantees that you have at least 4 or 5 years of hands-on experience. More cybersecurity professionals report that organizations require them to hold a certification. According to IC2 2021 workforce study, the study found that the CISP credential was the most commonly held certification among cybersecurity professionals. Wow, I would have never guessed that. What's your take on that? I would think that was number 1 would be CISSP.
Oh yeah. I've been researching this CISSP for a while, and it's number 1 because because I was trying to get my boss to let me get the CISSP instead of CSSLP.
Okay.
And he was like, "Nah, this better fit my job."
Well, let's get a little spicy about it, right? Because it's like, let me tell you what some people do. Some people cheat to get that cert. A lot of people cheat to get that cert because I don't think they change the certification exam very often. So a lot of the questions you can find online. So a lot of our, our counterparts from Asia, from parts of Asia, they'll sell those dumps. and then they'll and those are just the questions for the exam, and people take the dumps and then take the exam and they pass it. Yeah. So, you know, I think that's one reason why it's so prevalent. It's because the answers are so easily accessible on the internet.
Yeah,
so, you know, hey.
Gabe's his comments are only about Gabe and not about PBL's channel. No, I'm just playing.
Right. Those are only my comments. Yes.
No, I feel you. No, but that's super valid, right?
I was just saying what happens. I'm not saying what people should do, what they should do. That's what I've seen.
That's fact. Yeah. Let's hit Jim R real quick. Tell folks to get the Security Plus. Got to have that to walk in the door, and Azure/AWS certs, then CISSP. Then CISA, CISM, or the rest, then bang, 6 gram rocks and do what you want once you build your foundation. That is a good that's a good trifecta. Like you say, Security Plus, do you want to get your cloud, your CISP, then from that I always call these the specific. You're gonna go to auditing, managing the risk. That ain't a bad thing to do. And really that's the trifecta to get in the door and to get your promotions. What's your thought on that? That's a lot of search though, but go ahead.
Oh yeah. That is. Like which ones did it say?
Security Plus.
Yeah.
Then get your
see that.
Then get your cloud. Then get your CISP, because you know you need some years of experience. So I can see the plus, then get the cloud. That's gonna get you 3 or 4 years, CISP. Then your specialty.
That's a lot. That's a lot there. See, I was just talking to a young lady not too long ago. She works for my firm, and she was just asking, like, how do you get like kind of noticed, right, in the industry? And I was giving her advice, and I'm saying you got to be known for doing something. You got to be known for doing something. She has a very strong emphasis on Splunk, which is cool. Yeah. But you know, Splunk is very, very popular. So she might be one in a million security professionals that have some type of Splunk experience. I'm like, you can take that Splunk experience and make yourself a purple team expert, right? Because purple team is just working on the red team in order to assist the blue team of an organization to tune their detection methods in order to identify certain attacks, certain things that are happening on their network, some lateral movement or some privilege escalation, a certain tool running, right? So I was saying, hey, go ahead and niche down, get known for something, put out projects, put out things on GitHub, put out speak at conferences. That's how you really get noticed. Certifications are dope, but you really get noticed by being known for something within your industry.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, and that's what I'm trying to do is, I got certs, but like you said, I need to put together projects to show what I've learned with the certs. Like you said, my thing is NIST, the GRC on top of AWS, right? So,
but your YouTube channel is your portfolio, though.
That's one too.
So you start going out there, start getting into some,
But like Gabe said, though, I'm lecturing more. I need to do more labs and put them somewhere, right? I'm doing general lectures, so I think, like you said, I'm getting enough of that, but I need to start labbing that, right, and putting some in GitHub or some repository, right, where I build the scripts or bid the SIM or run AWS security. So when you build it, I can show that it's NIST or FISMA compliant, right? I think I need, but like you said, my YouTube is a step. I think I just need to get it further with actual labs. Shout out to Sheed, always showing me love, man. Glad you joined it. Let's see what JM says. If someone that already has a Security Plus and is new to cybersecurity, would you recommend learning a firewall system such as Snort, or is it better just to get certifications as a newbie? I think you need to learn something as a newbie. I'm gonna let
I would do the firewall with Snort.
Yeah, I would do. Yeah, I would do Snort, or I would try to. A lot of times you can learn it free.
PFSense.
Splunk, if you get, because Splunk's the big dog. It's just expensive, but I think they give you can do. I think they got a cloud version you can do for free, right? So especially as a newbie, I would try to get with Splunk or one of the big dogs.
Yeah, I would SIM is Microsoft Defender Endpoint.
Yeah. Well, they got
and Logarithm.
They got log, then you write. Then I think it goes from log to Sentinel, because we were trying to write KQL. I think is their query language. The funny thing is, and I might do that, is I had to find the requirements for what goes in the SIM. So I did NIST. So I went to NIST. It says, like Gabe said, in Active Directory, these are the 40 things you need to log coming out of Active Directory, and this is your requirements. Because a lot of times when you got people comment, they go, okay, I know Splunk, but they don't know what to put in the Splunk. I go, okay, here's the requirements from this, or here's the requirements for the IRS, or shout out to Gabe, here's the STIG requirements. Whatever you're doing, these are requirements. But what should you put in the SIM? A lot of people don't know.
But that's stuff for a good video right there.
Yeah.
So I probably,
well, I was gonna say,
Splunk, oh man, you'll be a deep.
Yeah. So. I was gonna even say, and I think Splunk is awesome. I think that somebody who's new, they should probably look at being more tool agnostic, not necessarily relying on a tool. So, so what is Splunk looking for within networks? You're looking for stuff like data exfiltration. What does data exfiltration look like within networks? It looks like large amount of packets, maybe in the megabytes or the gigabytes, leaving the environment. So, being able to configure that in Splunk, Sentinel, Security Onion, anything, right, is something that is a skill that's valuable. No matter what tool you have, or at least being able to explain the concepts. So I think somebody who's new, knowing what the bad guys are doing, and then being able to apply a tool to that is, I think, the most important thing that you can do.
No, facts. And the other part of that,
data out of logs.
Yeah.
And the other part of that too is from a purple team is you need to start logging all the SQL statements you put coming out your query so you can kind of figure out, okay, this is what ran when all our data went out the door, right? So you got to be able to match those SQL statements with your sys run to figure out, okay, this size SQL statement created, because it shows you the byte of how big that file was. You need to be able to trace that all the way through your environment and when that went out the door, right? From an incident response. We were talking about incident response the other day. So that's part of the Splunk logging in. And that's why I tell people, that's cool, but what are those requirements from the business? So my job is to look through this to give you those requirements, right? Because I'm good at Splunk, but I don't know what to log. I go, well, let me help you, right? So I'm doing that Bob Curry deploy. Okay, I'm gonna go through NIST, and NIST has what technology tells you what to log on there, right? So especially now with everything getting hacked, you definitely got a lot. What's your thoughts on the CYSA? It was actually, I think, on level 3 on the 8570. So
I'm not familiar with CYSA. I understand it's like a security operations center type of cert.
I told you everything I know. That's why I'm like you. I'm like, I seen it on that. It's good. I'm saying it's decent because it's on level 3, but that's all I got. We have nothing on that. So I saw level 3, so I would do it. But like you said, I would do a little more research. Like you said, I've seen it. I think Person Center Cyber was talking about getting it. She does a lot of federal work, but I haven't looked at that, to be honest. Let's see what my man Jim. Are y'all having trouble with cybersecurity staffing and retention these days? I'm working at a financial bank, and we're filled billets with folks from mortgage. We're filled billets. We're filling billets with folks from mortgage. Are y'all having trouble with cybersecurity staffing and retention? The company I work for, we're actually staffed up. Retention is kind of hard because it's going to be a cycle. Me and my boss talk about it. When you got a young guy with no experience, once you give him Splunk, Oracle, and a scanner Nexus, he can go double his money. So you always going to have retention at the low end where those young guys get trained up. If you can't afford them, they can definitely jump ship. I'm gonna tell that to you, Gabe, because I know it's kind of your bandwagon a little bit.
Retention, what's that? I mean, it's like if you got the right skills, you out.
But especially when you're young, and I expect you to be out, right?
I was just about to say, millennials and Generation Zs, we're not staying nowhere no time long. No,
so that's the issue. No, we were getting like a training cycle. So I just told my boss, we just gotta expect that. I would tell them, which is not too bad, that if we train you, you got to stay 2 years. But hell, it's gonna take us 2 years to get you trained, so it ain't really
that's true. Deal. So somebody from my organization somebody on my team just left not too long ago because he wanted to go more contracting because he wanted to get paid more money.
Nice.
So he said it wasn't no problem with the management, it wasn't no problem with the organization. It's dope, but I got financial goals that I'm trying to meet. and I know that I can get more on the other side than I can here, which is, I don't think he was really looking at it because he was actually up for promotion. He didn't know that, but he didn't ask. He was, but whatever.
Sometimes I think you jump too quick too, right? But
yeah,
I understand, especially, you seeing that 6 figures, you hear it every day, so but sometimes staying is better, especially once you get in sync and you get in with an organization. Like you said, a lot of times the organization has a path for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that path could be extra training that's going to get you extra money. So
that's a fact. This guy was probably making 134.
That ain't no money. No, I'm just bullshit. That ain't
apparently
no money.
A lot of people say that. But contracting not going to be that much higher for the skill set that he had. But I don't know. He might have had a situation. But it's retention is difficult.
Especially at the lower end, because I'm at a certain point now. I think I'm getting the opposite effect, right? I'm old. A lot of people don't want to pay me. I'm kind of at the top pay, and when you get 55, you'd be the first one to go. So I think I'm on the other side of that. But that's life. Go ahead, chime in on that, Savage.
You bringing a lot to the table, though, man. Somebody got to train these youngsters.
Yeah, but there's two things of that. When I was younger, I stay up for 12 hours. Now I'm going to bed, Gabe. I'll get with you tomorrow, man. So, unless the server's on fire, I ain't doing that no more.
That's a fact. So I'm going to bed too, man. We having this baby running around all day. She's starting to stand up and trying to walk. Man, it's a lot to keep track of while working. So, I'm actually about to start. Man, I want to start leaving the house. Going to
I feel you.
I'm always trying to get my wife and her mom a break all the time because I just want to spend time with the family. But at the same time, I'm like, I gotta finish work and then enjoy family. So gotta find that balance. Gotta find the balance.
Yeah, you gotta pay bills, man. But shout out to Fridge. Yeah, I think I'm trying to do more NIST labs. I think NIST labs are rare, to be honest. I'm hoping to start creating them. That NIST, but once again, like we just talked about, NIST just sits on stuff and stuff. Like we were talking about Splunk and SIMs. And like I said, one of my jobs, a couple of my jobs I had is, what do we put in those? No, people don't know the requirements to put into the SIM, right? So if you go to the schisms for the IRS, STIGs for DOD, CIS for regular business, they usually have the what you should insert into the SIM in there. So usually, actually, when I first did it, it was like 200 inserts, right? Like the database had 30, Active Directory had 30, Windows 2017 had 40, right? What you should put in the SIM. Then, like Gabe mentioned, how do you trace that from coming into your firewall until it gets stolen by the nation state, right? So you got to be able to track all that and what that looks like from a business perspective. Shout out to Frizz. Yep. So I think from a NIST perspective, especially if you're talking about auditing, shout out to Simply Cyber. So I think that's the part of that.
I'm actually have to drop down, fellas. I'm trying to finish this thing up, but I'm trying to learn it at the same time because I never use this tool. So I'm gonna definitely holler at y'all, man.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming up.
I had to look up agnostic. I mean, I'm like, I heard the word.
No, you good.
Yeah. It just means you ain't on one certain vendor. Yeah, Wireshark, I think will be considered agnostic. You can a lot of people use it on any technology, anything. Yeah. It's there.
Peace out.
Peace out, man. I appreciate you.
Out, G.
So that I think Rondo Mondo Wireshark will consider agnostic. The only problem I had with Wireshark is and I haven't used it probably 3 or 4 years. When I worked at a big company, we throwing a billion rows out of Oracle. Wireshark kind of choked on it. But besides that, any mid-size or even large company, it worked fine for. I actually used Wireshark when I was working with development teams. They were actually running an API, and they couldn't figure out what type of packet it was doing. Somehow it got switched to some different packet. So we was using Wireshark to figure out what packet was getting called. But somehow I think we switched it to a remote procedure call in the type, and nobody couldn't figure out why it worked. And so we actually had Wireshark look at the type of the packet that was going through. So you can use Wireshark for a lot of stuff. Go ahead, Savage Scientist.
Man, that is a great use of Wireshark.
I just happened to think about it. We were struggling. Yeah, I was like, it was supposed to be some kind of type, and we thought it was that, but when we were trying to read it inside, we were doing Java at the time. Java was choking on it because we thought it was something else, and I just happened to have it in Wireshark, and I was like, well, shit, it says remote procedure call, man. Y'all calling straight Java. So once they changed it, it started working. But but two, you can use Wireshark or Burp Suite when I used to be in that app dev test.
And Postman too.
Facts.
Postman's
new. Postman new. I'm old. I was using all the young dudes use Postman now. You right?
Yeah, because I had to do a SRC, SDC, SRC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the just software. Is a security request for software.
Right.
A software design review. That's what it's called.
Yeah, because one of the guys I look at for Amazon, because I was going to start using Lambda to do some serverless Java calls. They use Postman to initiate that call for their serverless stuff. That's when I first saw it.
Yeah, they use it. Well, they're gonna start using it really to speed up the workflow.
Oh, facts. Listen, Jim R said he took Security Plus, Pen Test, CYSA, and CAPS P last year. He said CYSA. Yeah, CAPS P, I think that's level 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right up there with the CISSP.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Facts. I haven't looked at the CAPS P, but I've seen it up there. He said he didn't see CYSA Plus is okay, but he didn't see it a lot from his marketability, I guess, on Indeed. People looking for it to work. Let me read some more of this Forbes article. Part of the CISSP certification process is becoming intimately familiar with all the relevant information in the world of cybersecurity, both to pass and to maintain certification. You got to keep your continuing ed once you get it. After earning the certification, the CISSP must accumulate a set number of continuing education credits. Continuing education helps build your expertise and ensure CISSP have a current and relevant skill set. Participants in IC2 workforce study reported that their teams recognize following benefits of employing cybersecurity professionals with certifications like CISSP. The workers have a deeper knowledge of critical cybersecurity topics. Certified workers increase confidence in their team's ability to handle security challenges. Hiring professionals with cybersecurity certifications ensure current knowledge and practice of information security trends. Certifications allow organizations to hire high-level workers with demonstrated expertise in cybersecurity. Network with other CISP. All CISPs must become IC2 members, granting access to a network of opportunities. More than 168,000 cybersecurity professionals are in IC2. I think that's all of them and not just The other thing is we got in a heated argument at work one day. Not heated, but they said CISP is the standard for vocabulary. I'm like, well, if it's only 3% of the workforce has CISP, how the hell y'all gonna be the standard? Ain't nobody in there, right? So there's some checks. I mean, it sounds cool, but he's like, that's a good point. He's like, well, blah blah CISP. I was like, man, I'm not dissing your CISP, but if y'all only 3% of the workforce, how y'all the standard, right? So I
guess what he said is that it's like the one everybody heard of millionaires.
Facts.
But we just don't know a lot of millionaires.
Facts. Nah, you all good, Gamer. I see you at work. But like I told him though, if it's only 3% of y'all can't be the standard, right? Because it's not enough for y'all to be a standard. It's got to be the majority. How you going to set a standard? So he was like, "That's a good point." So we were going back and forth. I think it's good to have my thing, and we talked about that. CISP is a management test, so I mean, it gives you a great overview, especially from a paper pusher. Me as a GRC guy, I push a ton of paper, but like you said, when you got to roll up your sleeves and do something. Now, there's a lot of CISPs that are technical, right? Because they came from, like, I work with a guy, some web team, database. Then they went to get their CISPs before they got to manager or supervisor. So a lot of those guys are still technical, but the CISP didn't make them technical. They were technical when they went there.
Yes.
So let me keep reading on this. What is the current demand? Between 2021, cyber attacks and data breaches went up 15%. This spike in cyber attacks among companies of all types and highlights both the needs for expert cybersecurity. We know there's, I think, 800,000 or a million cybersecurity people missing. Well, I guess they're talking about, despite the field's increase in popularity, workforce study found 60% of cybersecurity professionals says a shortage of professionals putting their organization at risk. The estimated cybersecurity workforce gap. Now, I ain't never heard of this stuff. 2.7 million people. Well, we should be hiring we should be hiring everybody.
They need more than ISC squared, CISSP people
Yeah,
fill that gap.
they need all the people. Hell. So I that's a big gap, man. I heard 1.3, I heard 800. They said 2.7 million. So then why we got gatekeepers? We 2.7 million short, but you know that's a whole nother ball game, right?
Yeah, and then they wanna think that they could hire these CISSP or these people with these big certifications and only pay them $40,000 and $50,000 a year.
I seen that a couple times. That's the weirdest thing. So I don't like you said. Let me read a couple more. One potential reason for the workforce gap is most cybersecurity job requirements include certification, such as the CISSP. Earning certification involves considerable time and effort, making it tougher to close the workforce gap. Meanwhile, technical advances by malicious parties continue to outpace the rate of IT and cybersecurity professionals. Let's see, the demand for CISPs are in high demand across industries due to the advanced knowledge and ability to defend data breaches and improve security measures. According to CyberSec's CISP certification is the most demand of all the current cybersecurity job requirements. As far as October 2022, more than 137,000 cybersecurity job listings requested the CISSP. I believe that. Yeah. So I see that a lot. That's one reason, man. Me like, man, I need to go and get it. I got to dust it off and see if I can get it. Like I said, it's the most, you know, highly. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
Man,
I got the big old boy, man.
Yeah, this a
see if I can show mine.
1,000 pages.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. There's
yeah, that's Sean Harris' book, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. See, he's been doing it forever. So yeah, I got the all-in-one. I was taking a couple practice tests before it started. So let's
she the GOAT. I think she passed away.
I think so too. Now that you mentioned,
she was the GOAT. A book still around.
It is, man. That's the new version. So here too, that's the one thing I'm gonna skip around a little bit is $749. I was like, woo. So you better save your money. You better save your bag. It's $749. But two, you gotta pay $749 to get to the 100, right? So yeah, that's an investment in yourself. So and let me see to get to endorsed. After passing the CIS exam, you must obtain an endorsement from a current certification holder before becoming one. Somebody's got to vouch for you. Their endorsements validate you have completed necessary work experience. So somebody has to work with you that can vouch for it. You have 9 months to find endorsement after passing the test. In the event or unable to sign, the IC Square may act as your endorser. Right? Then to maintain your certification, you must earn at least 120 continuous professional education every 3 years, which depending on how you do it could be a lot, right? So, but once again, it's one of the hottest certifications out there. So, and of course, I'm studying for it. So I was like, when I saw Forbes doing it, I was like, well, let me read this Forbes article and we could chop it up about it. So we're gonna hang out a little bit, see if anybody got any more questions that you want to throw in there. Of course.
Yeah, man, Jim been dropping some info down in here.
Oh, facts. He the man. Yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to get where he's at. So I'm trying to get I got the AWS cert, so I'm trying to get the CISP. Then I was gonna get the CISA. Then I was gonna rest. Then I was gonna rest.
Yeah, I think I want the CISSP and the OSCP and probably the OSWE.
Okay.
And after that, no more certifications.
Yeah, because you're going in the offensive game. So yeah, I might get the weird thing is I think I'm gonna get the CGRC, then the CISSP is privacy data. That's getting to be hot. Privacy. It's one of the newer ones for privacy. I actually been doing a lot of reviews on CCPA, which is Cali, and GDPR. So I'll be looking at a lot of contracts.
Oh yeah, man, that's that. Isn't that GDPR? Isn't that
Europe.
the European stuff?
It is. It is.
That and they got a PCI.
Yep.
The PCI DSS, isn't that?
Yeah, that's the big organization. You gotta do so many volumes of credit cards every day. I'm not a big credit card. I think for some reason, I think their certification is kind of weak for credit cards. Let me read GMR. 15 years of CISP. 15 years ago, CISP was an expert. I agree with that. I was at DOD, mainly because information security was a manageable size. Today, we were just talking about, I argue CISP is less important. The reason I disagree with you that is that article just said that, Jim. They're looking for it on Indeed. That's what the reason. In practicality, I agree with you, but I think HR is still putting a high degree on that, unless it's simply because cybersecurity profession is massive. That's the only reason I disagree with you is HR is still asking for it because they're always behind, Jim. I believe from a, like you said, learning and skill set, but from an HR scanning, trying to get you in the door, I think CISP is still the big dog in there.
And not only that, when you pass the ISC squared, the any test, CISSP or anything, I mean that process that you have to go to get the certification, the waiting for them to endorse you. It took me I think 8 weeks for ISC squared to endorse me. They wanted to check my work history, all my jobs. They actually they checked it. So that's something to think about.
No, I agree. I'm lucky. I know a lot of guys have it, so they would just endorse me off the bat. Like I said, I've been in the game a little longer than you. Rondo,
Yeah.
we actually talked a little bit about that. Go check out Keep It Techie channel. We had Do You Need a Degree? Can you dig into why the gatekeepers are being overzealous? I think it's just the boomers being the boomers, Rondo Mondo. I think those guys got degrees, so I think they want you to have a degree. When Keep It Techie pulled the numbers, it's skewed to everybody having a degree. I said that's because you had to have a degree for 30 years. Search just got hot the last 5 years. I think they're overzealous because number one is search are just getting hot. They don't respect them. Number two is, my organization was bad about this, is it used to be apprenticeship, Rondo Mondo, before you went to security. Usually you had to program for so long or being a networking guy so long. You couldn't just get into cybersecurity. You had to be in a networking team or the other team to get 3 or 4 or 5 years under your belt. When my security team just spin up, it was 5 people. I was the youngest dude at 40. Shit, everybody was old as shit. So I think we're slowly changing that, Rondo Mondo. So I think that's why they're overzealous, because I think the boomers need to kind of just fade out. And I think Gen X is going to be a lot better. And I think after them, who's after Z's? Who's after them? Millennials. I think the millennials will be a lot better. I think it's a timing, Rondo Mondo. Because a lot of times the old dudes, and I tell a lot of people in there, they're just being away, man. So I think they're just in a way right now. But shout out to them. That's what they believe because that's what they had to do, right? So I think they're finally kind of swinging a pendulum to respect search, to let newer people in. Because if you look at cybersecurity jobs, 75% of the jobs say entry level. They want you to have 3 years. So I'm like, well, hell, if it's entry level, how you gotta have 3 years? But cybersecurity moves a little different. Go ahead and chime in on that.
I was about to say, when I was coming up, I'm talking about like 98, 99, 2000. To get any job in IT, you had to have certification. I mean, not so you had to have experience.
Facts.
And I saw all, because that's why I went in the military. I saw all that start to change around the time the certifications blew up.
Yeah.
And it just became a point now where, because they know the hackers, the people that's breaking into the systems don't have certifications and degrees and all this stuff.
Facts.
They have 16-year-old, 15-year-old kids breaking into goddamn banks and stuff. And now they seeing that's what those are the people who they want to hire. And the only way to attract those people is to change the requirements. You don't have to have a degree. And then the college is teaching this old
Oh,
Oh,
facts.
rusted technology. I mean,
Facts.
nah.
Facts. But I think that's the hazing they want you to go through, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, I think that's yeah, Jim. I agree with you. A marketability, hireability, yes, that's what I said. And
Mhm.
from being an expert, not so much. And I agree with because I help a ton of CISPs because once again, I've done this. I've done that shit for real, right? I've got like we talked about. I've got requirements for a SIM. What are those requirements? So I've done those various things for companies. So now, Jim, I agree with you 100%. Shout out to Ty. Hey, big brother, I'm doing all right, man. Wrapping it up, tired. Don't want to work tomorrow. Happy hump day. Let's
Yo.
see. I was under the press. The HR was by. Yeah, that's part of it, Rondo. The baby boomers are giving the requirements to HR. So that's why HR is by because baby boomers are telling you they want you to have a degree, right? They don't say it's required, but they said it's nice to have. But if everybody comes, if 50 people got the degrees, they ain't gonna never get it to the people with the certs. Because
Yeah,
right,
and
HR.
that's the other thing we got. It's just like when the college degrees lose its value,
Facts.
then you're gonna have these people who have college degrees who went and got certifications, and they're gonna be the ones. That's why I say I tell people the best way to market yourself is to get a college degree and certification.
Facts. Facts. That's the
Now,
that's the
now
blueprint.
you're a beast at that point.
Yeah, facts, facts. But we talked about it too, though. Is sometimes the return on investment, depending on your college degree, right? You gotta make sure you balance it. I'm a community college guy because you can spend 100 on a degree and get the wrong thing, though, right? So, but definitely, yeah, but yeah, right.
Sometimes that's all you need. I mean, a lot of people coming into IT with biology degrees,
I
chemistry
work.
degrees.
Everybody I work
Just
with
have
had
a
a different
degree.
degree. I was the only one who had computer science degree. I work with a ton of engineers, a ton of biologists, a ton of things. They just started programming and got into IT because they were doing it. So now, real quick, Rondo, the baby boomers are giving this. The baby boomers, which are the C-suite, are giving the requirements to HR, and the HR are blocking. So I think that's what's
Look what
happening.
Jim just said.
Instead of being a Walmart greeting my all day, I'm going to be able to see while traveling. Hey, that's a good life, man. I want to do
He gonna be
this. Yeah, I want to do this assessment and travel. Go ahead, Sam.
he gonna be war driving in the RV.
Yeah, Ward Island, Ward
Yeah,
Drive.
man, he gonna be all over, man.
Man, that's it, man. That's the play right there, man.
Oh man, that'll be fun, man. Just follow the conferences around.
Yeah, that ain't a bad thing. A lot of people, I think, will start doing. I think they're trying to get the balance between remote and on-prem and hybrid. So I think they're gonna figure that out over the next 10 and kind of figure out what that's gonna be.
I'm working 2 days at home and 3 days in the office.
I think that's what we were doing from where I was at when I was working for the state as a consultant. I think that's what they were doing.
I really want to flip that 3 at home and 2 in the office.
Yeah, we were trying to flip it. The governor was, trying to say the restaurants in downtown, so he's making you come in and go outside to eat, so you could go to some of the restaurants and save them. So, which I understood that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that could be the reason why.
Yeah, because they actually closed. Yeah, they were closing our cafeterias, so they were telling you go to, which makes sense because we were in downtown and they were closing a lot of restaurants in COVID, so they wanted people to go out and eat, try to
stimulating the economy.
Yeah, which makes sense, especially because it's state money and state tax money who's getting paid with it, so he wants you to put it back to work. So, which I thought was fair. Well, once again, I'm about to shut it down. I'm gonna let you go ahead, Savage. I'm gonna give you the last say before I say it. What you want to say to them? So.
I think we covered everything. I mean, the CISSP is a great certification to get. Just pass the test and become an associate of the ISC squared. And once you put your time in, then they're gonna give you a cert. Either way it goes, you're gonna set yourself up to win. But don't sleep on getting a degree, even if it's not a computer science degree. I mean, an IT degree is very easy to get if you're in school. If you're in school right now, they get certifications while you're in school.
Yeah, shout out to WGU. They actually, while you're in their class, they you're getting certifications as your final test in those classes. So check in the WGU, and a lot of times they give you credit if you worked outside the industry to help you speed it up. But like you said, I'm studying for it. It's not going very well, but we're going to see. But yeah, CISSP, I always call it the big dog. And I agree with Jim. Marketability is the best. It's not going to make you an expert, not so much, but you are touching each domain. And from a marketability and dollar standpoint, I think CISSP currently right now is the big dog. So I'm out. I'm going to take my butt to sleep because I got to work in the morning. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate you, Jim. Put it on the barbecue fun. Per character holding his belly. Appreciate it. Everybody have a good night. Let's get that happy hump day. Let's get it tomorrow. I check everybody out in these cybersecurity street. I'll reach out to you later, Savage Scientists. Maybe we'll do a
everyone have a great day.
Maybe we do a CISSP one. We talked about it. I'll talk to everybody later.
You gotta do that.
All right, man. I'll talk to everybody later, man. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.
Peace out.